tour because we're not leaving yet. But instead, you let us sit up in that tour bus for that long, girl, and you didn't even give a when I told you about any of this. And that shit is what really hurts the most, how much she didn't give. So I'm actually glad that I didn't say anything during the tour. Let me tell y'all something. The type of person that I am, bro, if I say how I feel, this is how the situation in Philly made me feel, and I see that you don't give a, that starts to turn me. So I didn't want to be turned so bad that I spaz on her. I spaz on her. I swing on her. I'm locked up. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even want that to come out of this at all. Because the way she goes back and forth and the way she's ready to argue, that's somebody that knows that they got people behind her. Because that mouth would not be running like that 2 years ago. I'll tell you that much. I was going to leave after we was left in the desert and they went to the steakhouse behind our backs. I was going to leave after that. But I'm like, you know what? Let me do the Dallas and Houston show. Let me bring my girl Asian out. Let me make the best out of this situation once again. And that was going to be it. My mom, she wasn't able to make it to the New York show. She comes to Atlanta. She's like how she's coming to Atlanta because it was my aunt's 70th birthday. And she wanted to see me. So I'm like, damn, I got to do the Atlanta show just for her. Love you, mommy. Now we're going to get into the dispute that ended everything. So I addressed everything to her. I should actually show how I addressed it, because although it was very long, I want you guys to also keep in mind how so close friendships and relationships feel. Like the breakup feels the same. The way you express yourself, it can kind of feel the same as, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is very similar. So when I was explaining everything that I went through, it was a long ass paragraph. And like I was talking to my nigga, like I was breaking everything down because I want you to know exactly how I feel and how it made me feel. Exactly what I went through and how it made me feel. I want you to understand it. And I also want you to put yourself in my shoes and ask yourself if you would even go through that. You know what I'm saying? Because people fail to realize that she skipped a very important part in her career, which was the grind. She barely had to do that. She barely had to do that. And that's okay. Some people are lucky. Some people are lucky, and we're going to call it luck. We're not going to call it her being blessed, because I don't think the Lord will bless somebody like her. Her soul it doesn't belong to the person above. She is very dark and very soulless. And I've never been around this girl for more than 10 hours. Anytime I hung out with her, it was something very small, a small gathering, a small event. It was video shoots, you know what I'm saying? It never was chilling in the crib, face not done, chilling. You get what I'm saying? Like on some real friend shit. That's why I kind of got annoyed when a lot of people thought he was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, but it was like, we were still cool. Like that was still my girl, bro. So it was just her energy. I got to witness this very firsthand. I was around her every day, 24/7. I mean, not all the time, because she would go straight to the back into that room. And when I would see her, like at the venue and whatever, because after the Philly situation, I barely saw her. She was dark. She just, oh my God, like, it's even scary to talk about. Like, bro, that girl, she needs to be saved. Like, I don't know if she was always like that, if it's Hollywood, but Hollywood never changed me. Like, Hollywood never changed me. But Nikki was very, very correct when she said, ain't no friends in the game. Ain't no friends in the game. But me thinking like, oh, like, I was cool with Ice, like, before all of this, da-da-da-da. I didn't think, like, she was going to be a weirdo over time. Like, that shit was crazy. So when I told her about everything, she literally turned around. Like, when I say everything, I told her everything. I'm going to put it in a screenshot. Honestly, it felt like it could have been a miscommunication here. She winds up telling me that she told her manager, basically after the Philly situation, she told her manager to tell my manager that I'm going to need to get my own room. What I was confused on is that I told you how I felt in Philly, but you couldn't tell me how you felt in Philly. And that's why we weren't really friends. That's how I realized that we weren't really friends, because you can't even speak up to me, but had the audacity to say that I didn't say any of those stuff to you because I'm scared of you. Why would I be scared of you? I didn't want to punch you. I didn't want to say all those stuff above and then you completely ignore it. Because that's what you did when I mentioned the stuff that had happened in Philly. You ignored it. Like, you did not care. So with that being said, if I was to explain everything like how I explained it, you would literally not care at all.
And listeners, and I'm sharing my stage with you and you feeling so entitled, like you thinking that my peoples that work for me is supposed to work for you too. Like that's so crazy to me. Like how I'm in the shower, you gon' barge in while I'm butt ass naked trying to press me about some bags that you gotta carry some bags. What? Like, nah, that's that shit, bro. But that's all I could do, y'all. All I could do is sigh about it because it's just like, what can you do, bro? It's like, damn. Crash outs and they going on rants, bro. Crash outs and they going on rants. But though, at the end of the day, it's whatever, bro. Like, this shit comes with it, you know? Like, y'all see clearly, this will come with it, bro, right? So, but the whole thing that's blowing me right now is like talking about some dark energy, trying to compare a tour bus to a slave ship. Like, what are you talking about right now? What? That is crazy to me, bro. That's so crazy to me. Like, you really gonna be friends with somebody for 2 years, but the whole time you feel like they soulless and dark? Like, you sound dumb as. If anything, we both need saving. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, we was at the movie theaters. We was siphon. You not gonna tell the people how we was at an Italian restaurant and you ate so much food vacuum that the server was like, where did the food go? Like, stop it right now. You talking about some, she ain't let me to the back of her room on her tour bus. She had this big ass room in my bed one time. Like, damn, you want to sleep in my bed every day? That's crazy to me. Anyways, yeah, I'm about to actually go to sleep for real this time, but I'm about to announce the Europe tour dates because for me, the shit go on, bro. Regardless, the shit is still gonna go on. That's the gag.